How's it going? Welcome to the wonderful world of Skyrim. I'm sure you've seen it before, but if not, it's a game with the ability to make some wild characters and amazing stories to adventure the land with. We are not doing that today. In fact, what if we removed all traces of fun and whimsy from this world and made all encounters 10 times worse? Can you beat Skyrim with only an iron dagger? There are a few things to note before going into the challenge, but that can be explained by the beautiful gremlin I am about to make. So we just need to change this here, tweak that there, and yes, perfect. You shall be known as Schmimbus. And after all that, I'm just going to blast the rules. I can only equip an iron dagger. This means any item that gets the equip icon is not allowed. This includes of armor, weapons, and other spells and racial abilities. Difficulty is set to legendary. I cannot loot outside of quest locations. No picking up flowers, mining ores, and no farming bandits. All potions and food must be found at the quest location, made with the limited ingredients I find at those locations, or bought outright from the merchants. No side quests are allowed. No simple side quests for easy cash like returning the golden claw. I also cannot have any followers, whether bought or given. There will be some occasions where there will be forced followers, which I unfortunately cannot stop, so we'll need to go through that. And lastly but not least, no saving. This includes no save scumming and no regular saves either, just for that little bit of twinge of extra pain. And with all that out of the way and hands unbound, it's time for me to sit in a corner and let Hadvar fight everything for me. I can't help yet because, no dagger, but at least Hadvar takes ages to kill anything, so I can think about how I'm going to do this. The plan thus far? Run past everything until I reach the torture chamber and find my best friend. I go back to Hadvar, but my bones are made of cotton candy and deal no damage. My 4 damage dagger can't even hurt the tutorial enemies, so instead of fighting them, I'll use one of the strongest strategies ever made, running past everything while stealing any item of value. Nothing is really stopping me from just running through this entire place, so I do just that, and complete Unbound, the first quest of 18. Now free, I run through Riverwood, not before deciding I don't want a starting stone, just to make the challenge a little harder, and talk to Alvor. He believes the natural-looking stranger about breaking out of prison and rambling on omens of death. Different times. Sell all of my valuables to different traders in Riverwood, and head to Whiterun, stopping by Bleak Barrow before to make it a little easier. Tickle the giant outside, and the guards let me in, and I approach the Jarl, at least as okay with my way of life, and finish quest 2. The Jarl, scared of my power, sends me to Bleak Barrow for the safety of his people. Sneaking past the bandits and making it inside, I try and sneak up on the first set, and fail terribly, and try to fight them head on. This, to no one's surprise, doesn't work. Members' weak biology and bad breath makes attacking enemies feel like stabbing a mountain that stabs back. Naturally, I leave and regenerate, and I can try another approach. I'm able to sneak in and strike. Oh, yeah, not even sneak attacks deal any damage. But I found a corner to cry in and hide before heading out. It takes a while, multiple sneak attacks, but I can kill 2 bandits in only about 15 minutes. Progress. Continuing on, I run into the next hurdle, Skeevers. Yeah, it's very humbling being turned into a human pretzel by Skyrim's weakest enemy, and by this point, I've had enough of just sneaking around and I start running through this place. Run past a spider, watch Arvel be put in a t-shirt, and fight the Dagger. Doesn't work, so I just use the trap instead and continue this to mild success until the trap breaks. Yeah, it breaks. I don't think I've ever seen this trap actually break before, but I can no longer use it. So I just lost my only way to fight. So I just moved to the next trap. Try fighting like a man, cry like a little girl, run through some traps some more before sneaking past the Dagger into the last area. Using the trap some more, deal with the rest of them. I also do come close to death many times. Use the golden claw on the funny door and approach the Overlord. Now, I nearly died to a skeever, but I should at least try to fight properly. Yeah, not gonna happen. So the traps, easy, right? Yeah, no. I don't know why, but this was so difficult. Either he would just tank the traps and bisect me in one swing, even blocking kills me instantly, and best of all, I had a nice little Skyrim moment happen, where he just fell through the floor, and I couldn't get the Dragonstone. However, I finally get it to work, and I retrieve the Dragonstone, head back to the Dragon's Reach, and hand in the quest, and that is number 3. Picking up the pace, I'm told I need to accompany Irileth to fight the dragon. Oh, yeah. Schmimbus, the guy who got his ass kicked by rats, should fight the flying death lizard. Makes sense. Sounds good. So, with all of this confidence and heading out under the cover of night, I reach the watchtower and let everyone else fight the dragon while I lay down for a nap. But it's a bit too noisy, so I just wait and do some interior decorating, before waiting some more and attacking the dragon's tail while sneaking, so now no one can say that I didn't help. With the final blow dealt and the soul absorbed, I head back to Whiterun, only to hear a bunch of old men yelling from the mountain, before turning in the quest to the old Bargrowth. And with that, it's off in time to meet the Greybeards. Nervous, I decided to take a relaxing trip to where I was nearly beheaded, and have a light marathon running to Iverstead, and getting stuck between some rocks. Finally, I make it up to the 7,000 steps, nearly die to a wolf, then sneak up the mountain, and make it to High Hrothgar. After this old man asks for a taste of my voice, I reach my first roadblock in the challenge. There is no way to progress the story from this point without equipping a shout, as I need a shout at the Greybeards. I deliberated what to do. I had made it this far, and I would be damned if I stopped here. So from this point forward, I will continue with only an iron dagger, but anytime the game has a force equip, I will try to work around it. But if I can't, I unfortunately have to do it, but I will specify. I begrudgingly scream at him, and they test me further by making me shout at Christmas Pass, and at a gate. Now, part of the Cool Kids Club, they send me on their way to get the mystic drinking horn they left at a fraternity, and it's another quest completed before the journey to Ustengrav. I must prepare. This will be my second solo dungeon, and I don't know about the traps inside, so it's off to Whiterun to gather supplies. But there's a going away present for me. Cultists. They follow me, trying to extract my Schmimbus essence, but I hide in this local bar and use their kitchen as staff watches, and wait for a few hours so it's day, and I can get some more potion ingredients, food, and then go do some more cooking, and off to Ustengrav. I arrive and am spotted instantly. I have no desire to feed the ground as mulch, so I run the bandits into a Stormclaw camp nearby, then enter the ruins. Sneaking past the first group is pretty easy, but the next group is a little harder. Mages and Draugrs in an all-out battle. My dagger is not worthy of being called a weapon, and my body is so frail it would disintegrate if put in flowing water. I leave and wait outside for the grown-ups to finish talking. Trying my luck at sneak attacking the last fire mage proves somewhat effective, giving me a small amount of hope, and get her to the second time around. By this point, my bag is so full that I head back to Whiterun to lighten up and get a few more treats. On arrival, I see two mages with their backs to me. An opportunity like this is far and few, so I take my chance, and luckily both are low enough to sneak kill for the first one and bash the other. I feel great before being put back in my baby seat by a basic Draugr. At this point, I was considering doing this at level 1 to prevent enemy scaling, but it's kind of impossible to even put a dent into the lowest level of enemy, so I have to level up, putting 4 points into stamina and 2 into health, and leveling my sneak skill and getting sneak attack, and armsman for extra point of damage. Attacking deals way more damage, and it only takes 8 sneak attacks to kill a healthy Draugr, until I reach the restless one, and I'm back to square -1, who takes multiple power sneak attacks to deal with. But because it took so long, I was able to level sneak to its next point, doing 15 times sneak damage. Now I can make a little more progress. Everything falls pretty quickly now, and I get Lightfoot to walk over the traps, and get to the next problem, the Whirlwind Sprint Gates. I need to shout past the timed doors with Whirlwind Sprint, but I can't do that as I would need to equip the shout. I try and mess around with the puzzle for a while, and I'm able to keep one of the doors open, but it's just not working. I head to Whiterun for a solution, and finally deal with the partyman. I can't find what I'm looking for, so I get back and find what I'm looking for. That's right, a good old bucket, or some good old phasing through walls. Did I say good old? No, I meant soul destroying. I have never done this before, and I just can't get it to work. Nothing. Buckets, bowls, plates, jugs. I can't get it to work. I end up killing myself in the process. So, I try and get it to work in another area, the exit of the dungeon. It's better, but I still can't get it. I've been doing this for about 2 hours before I actually got it to work. And then, loot the chest and find a love letter in a dead man's hands. The letter was left by Delphine, the worst side character. He leads me to her dank dungeon and lets me in on her plan to grave rob the pet cemetery to prove a point. I return the drinking horn to Master Frat, and he slips something in my drink, and it's into the next quest. Heading over to Ratway, I see some people doing some interesting things in the streets. Get some food and catch a ride to Disney World, and run through Kyne's Grove, and see that the big bad dragon has stopped my grave robbing shenanigans to halt by summoning a snappy death lizard. I don't know why I keep trying to fight these things, as he bitch smacks me and turns me medium rare. This time I wait for Delphine to come in and do most of the grunt work, and I would occasionally run up and bash it with my butter knife. So much for being a dragon slayer. Got folded like a damn omelet. So I hide in the trees till Delphine gets up. But luck turns my way, and the dragon fights the worst possible enemy, the giant. And after getting slapped around a bit, it falls. After watching a wolf get animized, I return to Delphine, and she tells me to go to Riverwood. But I'm an independent freak of nature, and do as I please, so I go to Ratway again, offload before heading back and getting the plan ready. And since Schmimbus is a party demon, I will infiltrate the Thalmor embassy, find Malborn, and catch a free show on the way, and talk to the man in question. I give him everything I can't live without, which is enough food to feed a starving nation and 3 buckets. In my plan, I was going to go as a stripper to enter the party, but Delphine won't let you go on a cart unless you wear party clothes, which is a big no-no. So, I just head straight to the embassy instead, but as luck would have it, I can't get in. So, sadly, this is the second force equip in the game. Honestly, kind of poor game design if you ask me. Now, off to the party, and meet the noble drunk. We're gonna get along great, and enter the party. The party sucks, of course, so I try and drink it all away, but they cut me off. So, I guess I'll do the mission and give another drunk something to cause a scene. I enter the kitchen and steal all the food, before grabbing my items and leaving the storeroom. And then I get immediately roasted. This time, well done. Don't worry though, it only gets worse from here. Steal the food in the kitchen again, and head off on my way. I'm able to lure and sneak past the guards well enough, and I keep sneaking through the embassy. That's to say, dying a lot. But somehow they don't notice me here, of all places. Yeah, okay, sure. After dying a few more times, I just run and loot the chest and run away. Hide and read some notes. I make my way down to the king chamber and steal the torture notes. Somehow Malborn is found and killed. What a great spy. I get the key and leave Malborn behind while he can carry his weight. I return to Delphine. She tells me about her crush, and I have to retrieve him from the Ratway. Now at Riften, I talk to Brynjolf, and he gets me to do a job, but I enter the inn and fail it instantly. But he still tells me to go, because he's just such a nice guy, and I enter the Ratway. Hate the Ratway. Enemies have so much health and do so much damage. But I'm able to make it to the vaults, and the Thalmor burst out of the walls, and I let the Thieves Guild deal with it. I find Esbern in his rat hole, and he lets me, a stranger, inside, and he tells me about the end of the world. So we head to Delphine, but not before death in the form of a Thalmor wizard shows up, and for some reason has limitless health and massive damage, and the rest of the Ratway maniacs come out of nowhere and start fighting, before I get put down. I fight and die to this wizard so many times to the point where I take drastic action. I eat some soup. For those who don't know, soup gives you the ability to bash indefinitely, as it keeps restoring your stamina just enough to do it again before they get out of the stagger. I still die, but this is my last resort. I do much better with this strategy, until some more soldiers come through, so I kick it up and become the bash machine gun, and after a long time of bashing, I die again. Yeah, no. But with enough perseverance, I can break a brick wall with my skull, but I just ran away, and they don't follow past the door for some reason. Works for me, so we can make our way out, and get to Delphine, and we talk about Alduin's wall. So, that's where we go. The wall is near Markarth in a Forsworn camp, but luckily a dragon is attacking, so I can just sneak in unnoticed. I let Delphine deal with the Forsworn, jumping in sometimes for the final blow, and make it to Skyhaven Temple, fail the puzzle, and eat shit from a fireball trap. Fight the Forsworn again, make my way back through, and actually study the puzzle, and make it through, and make a blood pact with whoever will listen, and make it to the wall. Esbern reads me a bedtime story, and I'm off again to see the Greybeards. Pretty straightforward half an hour. Oh yeah, all that still took about half an hour. Speaking to the Grey Boys, they tell me of Parthenax, and I learn the Clear Sky Shout, and again, I cannot continue without using this shout. I kill myself in frustration, and head up a mountain. I avoid the ice wraiths where possible, and make it to the throat of the world, and find Parthenax, leader of the Greybeards. He teaches me the shout Fire Breath, which unfortunately is also a mandatory equip to continue. I hate this. Parthenax can't teach me Dragon Rend, but he tells me how I can. The Elder Scroll. I must go to the College of Winterhold and ask the mages of where to find the scroll. On arrival to Winterhold, however, a dragon attacks, but I could just lead them to the mages and they'll deal with it. I mean, they have magic. I speak to Faraldala, and she tells me the only way in is to prove I'm a Dragonborn. By shouting. Okay, here we go again. After an hour of phasing and dying once, I can get into the college. I enter the library, and Green Man shows me some books that lead me to Septimus Sigmus in the ice fields. I do a sick trick that leaves me on 2 health, and run into the ice. The cold can't hurt me anyway. I find Septimus. The totally sane individual tells me to go to the Dwemer ruin called Blackreach. I enter the ruin, sneaking as much as possible, but having to fight a Dwemer spider. Yeah, I still can't hit anything head on without needing a lot of potions first, but I can sneak through without much trouble, taking a bucket along the way, and make it to the big drop. Fully adopting the sneak lifestyle, I circle around all obstacles and enemies in my way, till finally reaching some Thalmor. Normally, I hate the Thalmor. They do so much damage and the poison sucks, but being blind makes them one of the easiest targets to sneak past, and I find that I can even sneak past the Dwemer Centurion without difficulty. I watch some unhealthy couples therapy and enter Blackreach. Bro, what the fuck? I would be way more amazed if I wasn't scared to death by all of the ghouls, insects, and robots. But I make it to the tower. From here, I smash buttons in a random order till the scroll comes out. Advanced machinery, everyone. I head to Whiterun to gather supplies. Gather as much food and as many potions as I can get, and now, with the Elder Scroll in hand, I ascend to the throat of the world to learn Dragonrend. I flashbang myself with ancient knowledge, and learn Dragonrend from the old heroes, and Alduin shows up for an epic battle. But there is one small issue. Alduin will never land if I don't use Dragonrend. He is also invincible if I don't use Dragonrend. So, I will have to do another force equip. Forced to land, I eat some soup and engage in an epic battle with Alduin. Yeah, that didn't go as planned. I really thought that I could permabash him to death with Paarthurnax shooting him with fire, but he has some sort of stun resistance and I can't keep him down. I would also like to mention that I don't even know if I was damaging him, but the smallest of chunks tells me that I'm just doing just enough damage. It would only take a few thousand stabs. I die. And die. And die. So I hide and shout at him, and watch for meteors to dodge while Paarthurnax does the damage, and help where I can, but this fight is as brutal as it gets. Not all is lost though. I find my strength. Dragonrend both Alduin and Paarthurnax at the same time, and they are forced to fight each other, considerably speeding up the process. I feel like a genius when all of a sudden Paarthurnax just stops fighting. This is really, really bad. Paarthurnax will not return to battle after taking a certain amount of damage, meaning I need to deal the rest of the damage without a distraction, and Alduin has only taken about a fifth of his health. Try all I might, I just don't have the resources to do this fight. My next best option is to lead him down the mountain, but he stops following after a short distance, and going back up, the fight continues. I try this time with Paarthurnax, but I stand no chance, and after dying a few more times, I come to the same realization I have come to many times before. I just don't do enough damage. But what can I do without equipping anything? I've already leveled up my perks, and I cannot use powers. However, there is one last idea, and it's just crazy enough to work. Poison. That completely forgotten mechanic, allowing me to coat my weapons with extra damage. The best part about this is that it does not count as an equip, and it doesn't change my dagger either. So, what's there to do? We get some poison. I descend the mountain and go to the alchemists of Skyrim and see that the poisons they offer aren't going to do enough, and they are mad expensive. So, I do the next best thing. I do some research and buy raw ingredients. Make lingering potions as they are the biggest bang for buck per pot, and some extra ingredients. There are a few main ones I'm going for, those being Impstool, Crimson Nirnroot, and a special selection from the Khajiit caravans being Rubush, Luminous Shrooms, and Chokeberry. The route I would take would start in Whiterun, to the Khajiit trader in the stables, then to Falkreath, Margroth, Solitude, met the Khajiit in Dawnstar, and lastly the Khajiit in Windhelm, and I would repeat this path. How long did I do this, you may ask? 15 minutes? 30 minutes? How about 3 straight hours of nothing but this? And here's the best part. My recording crashed about 2 hours in. And in that time, I actually fought Alduin, died, spent another 2 hours gathering ingredients before fighting Alduin again and actually defeating him. Yeah, that's right. I actually defeated him by my recording rigged out. So you know the best part? I get to fight him again. But this time with my recording actually working. However, Alduin has a lot of health. So, how much poison did I actually bring? Well, I did the math. I brought 77 vials of poison with a combined damage of 9,522. And applying one on every attack allowed this to happen. After only 10 grueling minutes, I defeated Alduin for the first time. Again. Now with Alduin defeated, he has decided to run away off to Sovngarde. So, I need to find my own way there. I approach the Jarl of Whiterun and ask if I can show him a cool trick involving bringing a Harbinger of Death into his home. He doesn't really like the sound of this because of the war and everything going on. So, I need to bring peace to the nation by organizing a tea party with the fraternity once more. By grabbing the rival football teams, I attend the peace meeting. I talk to Parthenax and tell them how bad the Blades are, so they will no longer be helping me. That doesn't matter, because you know what time it's for? Force equipped! 2 more of them! One to summon the dragon and another to use Dragon Rend. Love this part of the game. After the dragon tells me it's a one-way trip. So, of course, I prepare by another hour and a half of potion mixing. Well, really more poison mixing, and off to Skaldafn for the portal to Sovngarde. However, going to Skaldafn, all I need to do is sneak through, right? And not even 2 seconds in, and I'm getting attacked by 3 dragons. I roll all the way to the temple and silently kill all the guarding Draugr, solving the puzzle, and run past the rest of the dungeon. Somehow, this counts as sneaking, and I make it to the Draugr Overlord. Yeah, so I actually need to kill a Draugr Overlord without traps. It takes a while, but I'm actually dealing great damage, and he goes down after only about 5 minutes of fighting. I have come far from the time at Helgen, but I get another Skyrim glitch where I can't slide the dragon door, so I actually have to kind of go back and do it again. But now with the door working, I fly past the dragon priest and make it into Sovngarde. I wake up in the beautiful lands of Sovngarde and meet a friendly traveler who gets fucking drive-byed, and I book it to the Hall of Valor and talk to Sun and battle him to gain entry into the halls. One small issue, however. Sun can one-shot me. Shit. I use my last levels to gain health, right? No, I have around 200 health at any point, and it doesn't matter. He will one-shot me. Sneak attack? I get fucking sent home. Good thing I stocked those extra poisons. You know, I could hit him, that is. I die a lot. Even blocking, he will still one-shot me, even if leveled. Block hitting works well for the first 2 attacks, but I need more than that, and going stealth fully restores his health, so I can't do that either. I tried many, many times, till eventually my skills honed enough for this run. I defeat Sun and enter the Hall of Valor, and talk to the 3 heroes while being interrupted by side characters' dialogue, and start the final quest. Everything has led up to this moment of 2 fucking more equips. By clearing the Soul Snare with the Clear Sky Shout and Dragon Rend to bring Alduin down to the ground. I charge into battle with my poisons and dagger swinging wildly. Everything is poured into my strikes against the World Eater. Hours of work, hours of struggle, hours of shattered hope, and I release everything, even running out of poisons partway through, but that won't stop me. I keep swinging the last leg with only an iron dagger, and eventually... I've done it. With Alduin defeated and being sent back to Skyrim a hero, I have done what no one else has done before. I have beaten Skyrim with only an iron dagger. Thank you all so much for watching, and despite the pain that it caused, it was really fun. And if you enjoyed it as well and would like to see me do more challenges or videos like these, hit that subscribe button, comment, and like the video. I appreciate it a lot, and have a good one.